VC. VC, my peeps. Okay, we're going to be talking about this gem here. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. This is the remaster, actually. This is but the cool thing about this remaster and what should be done for every single album ever made, all the good ones anyway, I wouldn't want, well, let's say I wouldn't want, what's a bad album? I mean, I don't really know of any really bad, like, what, Justin Bieber. Okay, that kind of crap. Crap like, popular music, stuff like that. Don't remaster that and put that on vinyl. Because I know Justin Bieber put his stuff out on vinyl. Just no, okay? Okay, anyway, let's get back to business here. This album right here, this is Jimi Hendrix-ElectricLadyland, straight from the analog tapes onto 180-gram vinyl. It sounds phenomenal. Other than the sound quality of this record right here, let's talk about the actual album that the musicians made for them, that they made and they put onto this album to get to us, because they're really nice, or Jimi Hendrix is really nice like that. Okay, now let's talk about this. This is my favorite Jimi Hendrix album, because pretty much the exact order of the albums that he came out with is the exact order of my favorites. It goes Electric Ladyland, Axis Bold as Love, and then Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? All fantastic, amazing albums, all A+, no doubt about it. But in sentimental reasons, for ear reasons, for some reason, these albums just correlate different, and I may like this one better, I might like another one better, but this one sticks to my ears mostly. Why? For some reason I have a thing for long albums, and I have a thing for experimental. But the thing is, when the experimental, I also like a side of pop elements. I like experimental pop, more experimental rock. But a pop element is something you can sing to. A rock song can be a pop song. Anyway, you have this a mixture of experimental, some completely experimental, some jams, a very good jam by the name of Voodoo Child. I'm a voodoo child. Anyway, great song. You have Voodoo Child. You have 1983, A Merman I Should Be. Very experimental. Jimi Hendrix was at his experimenting peak. Unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix, as we all know, passed away in 1969. This album was just the beginning of his career, or not his career, but of his experimentation. Now, his experimentation was going places that I really, really liked. Unfortunately, things didn't pan out that way, which I wish they could have, but they didn't. But we just need to like Jimmy. We just need to. You just need to look on what Jimi Hendrix has done, and he's done some pretty awesome stuff. He revolutionized rock. Anyway, let's talk about the album. This album is definitely his most experimental, and it's a very strong standalone album, just like all of his other albums. Let's start with "And the Gods Made Love." Very experimental. It's a nice little introduction into Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland, which is very melodic, and I like it. And then you get into Crosstown Traffic, which is a nice poppy rock song that is probably one of my favorite songs on the album. I don't like to say that's my favorite song, because I like to look at an album as an album. Okay. Voodoo Child. Amazing jam between a lot of awesome musicians. Okay, actually, let's talk about that. Producer, there was pretty much they had the I forget the name of the freaking producer, but I know because I watched a documentary on it, and the producer, he was very much about this vinyl comes with a booklet. Anyway, and it says the producer name on it. Anyway, the producer, he was shooting more for a pop element in a rock song, while Jimmy, on he was like, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna try all this experimental stuff. So that's where the experimental side of the album comes in. Uh, of course, Jimi Hendrix could write a pop song. Nothing. Uh, anyway, the producer that worked on this album, it pretty much was Jimi Hendrix producers. He was his producer. He was shooting more for pop. That's why this album is so diverse. It's because you have kind of like the White Album. You had four different guys coming from totally different. I'm gonna say totally different, but coming from different perspectives, coming together, making an all over the place album that somehow is very cohesive and is a classic. Uh, now, okay, now we have uh, I lost my train of thought. Basically, this album is amazing. It's very diverse. You have that's you have a few more pop songs. Little Miss Strange. Little Miss Strange was actually written by the bassist. Why am I so bad with names? I'm a terrible person for not knowing the bassist name. I know he wrote the song though. He wrote the song while Jimi Hendrix was out of the studio because the bassist in the documentary said that for some reason Jimi Hendrix would come in late for some odd reason. I don't know. But so he wrote the song, and Jimi Hendrix did a soloing over it. He added some stuff to it. But the beginning acoustic part, that is written by the bassist. Okay, let's skip down a little bit. Rainy Day Dream Away. This was a jam between, actually, the original drummer wasn't the drummer. It was Buddy Miles. Buddy Miles plays drums on this song. And there's this key guy. I forget his name too, but he was really cool on this documentary. He was a really cool guy. He was just sitting there smoking a cigarette, like, yeah, I'm awesome like that. Anyway, this let's go to okay, let's go to Along the Watchtower. Let's skip down a little bit. Along the Watchtower is a cover that Jimi Hendrix did by Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, as I hope we all know, is a very, very influential man. He wrote. I don't need to explain who Bob Dylan is on this channel or in the vinyl community. I really hope so. So I'm just gonna say that was a cover, and I personally like Jimi Hendrix, although I usually don't like covers better because I just really had this, I had this philosophy that if it weren't for the original artist, we wouldn't have the cover. So I usually tend to respect the original song more, which I do. But in terms of songwriting, song production, Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix wins by quite a bit. Also, although I love Bob Dylan, don't get me wrong, I just absolutely adore Jimi Hendrix. I mean, what a classic. I think I've gone on enough about this album that I absolutely adore. I'm giving this album a 10 out of 10. No questions asked. Another classic. So, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this album. See you later.